Hello everyone, my name is Hubert and welcome to Teach Me channel. Today we'll be looking at GCSE biology, blood vessels. So last time when we did the biology video we were looking at the heart and how the heart links up to the rest of the body and how the circulatory system works in the basics. Now we'll be looking into the blood vessels. We'll be looking at the arteries, veins and capillaries, which are the three main blood vessels that play part in our circulatory system, and each of them has a distinct role and distinct structure that helps it to do its job. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, first of all, we have arteries. Now, arteries are the blood vessels that carry the blood away from the heart. That's very important. They carry blood away from the heart. Heart pumps blood, and that blood will always go into arteries, and arteries will take it all the way up to the capillaries, which we'll cover later. But arteries carry the blood away from the heart. That's their main function, and therefore, because they carry blood away from the heart, they tend to be in a closer proximity to the heart, and they tend to experience high pressure because, of course, heart is beating and heart is pumping blood at high pressure. So those arteries are subjected to high pressure, guys, and that means that they need to adapt to this pressure to not burst, which would be catastrophic. So, arteries have very, very thick walls, as you can see in a picture. They have very thick walls consisting of collagen, elastic fibers, and smooth muscle layer, which contains some elastin as well. And those thick walls provide a strong structural support, I suppose, and prevent the arteries from bursting. And also, we have quite a thick, smooth muscle layer, which can control the diameter of the lumen. They can control the size of the lumen better, and again they also help us withstand the pressure. Now, arteries consist of elastic fibers, like I said. They consist of smooth muscle layer, like I said. They consist of endothelium, which is the inner wall, which is the inner wall of the artery, and they consist of lumen, which is essentially the hole. Now, the interesting thing about the lumen is that it's small. It's relatively small. Why is that? Because small lumen helps to keep high pressure. It essentially reduces the volume of the blood that we can contain within those arteries, and therefore heart kind of has to cram that blood into those small lumens, and that increases pressure. So the small lumen is this sort of adaptation that helps us to keep high pressure in arteries, and that is very necessary because pressure is the way arteries control the direction of the blood flow. Because the pressure is so high, blood can flow only one way, and therefore arteries tend to have no valves. They don't need any valves to help them control blood flow. So thus arteries, they carry blood away from the heart up to capillaries, and they have range of adaptations. They have thick outer walls, they have small lumen, they carry blood away from the heart, because of that they are subjected to high pressure and do not need valves. That's the summary of arteries, guys. Now let's move on to veins. Veins are the second big type of blood vessel. Now veins tend to be quite large, and their main job is to carry blood to the heart. So they collect the blood from capillaries, they use that blood from capillaries, and they carry the blood towards the heart. So again, they're a very important player in a circulatory system, and they have certain adaptations that help them do their job. Now, veins have a much bigger lumen because they are collecting blood from capillaries. Therefore, they are not subjected to very high pressures like arteries are. So veins carry blood to heart, and therefore they have a lower pressure, and they have a big lumen because big lumen increases the volume of blood that can be contained in veins, And therefore, what that means that it helps to keep the pressure quite low. And that's important because veins have much thinner external walls. They have much thinner elastic fiber layer and much thinner smooth muscle layer because they are not subjected to such high temperatures, so they don't need such thick walls to maintain the structural integrity to prevent any bursts, because the pressure simply is not as high, guys. So those are the adaptations of the veins. Now, another important part of the vein is the valves. Veins have valves, and these valves work very similarly to those in a heart. They help keep the blood flowing in a correct direction. Of course, veins are subjected to much less pressure, so they need to have those valves to ensure correct blood flow. And this sometimes is what can go wrong. Things such as deep vein thrombosis are diseases that are associated with incorrect function of the valves, where the blood ends up backing up the vein, especially in legs where the blood has to work against gravity and the pressure simply is not as high as it is in arteries. So valves, if they're functioning properly, they ensure that our blood is flowing in correct direction in veins. So, let's have a summary of veins. So veins carry blood to heart, they are exposed to much lower pressure, they have much bigger lumen, and they have valves. And this is also reflected in the structure of the veins with much thinner elastic fibers and smooth muscle layers, so much thinner walls and much bigger lumen. So this is how we can differentiate structurally between veins and arteries. So we covered the two main sort of blood vessel types, which are tasked with shifting large quantities of blood away from heart or to heart. They deal with large quantities of blood. So they are, in terms of our body, they tend to be the sort of motorways, the highways. But what about the local roads? What about the roads that actually get you home? The roads that actually get you home, the ones that you live on. Those would be capillaries. Capillaries, the main purpose of capillaries is to deliver the oxygen, deliver the nutrients to the cells, and also to take away the waste substances from the cells, such as urea, and very importantly, carbon dioxide. So capillaries actually are the ones where things are happening. They are the ones that deliver those nutrients and exchange those waste substances. And capillaries are very well adapted to this job. So capillaries, first of all, capillaries have very thin and permeable walls. Capillaries need to be able to exchange the nutrients, and that tends to happen via diffusion. Therefore, the thinner the wall, the more efficient the diffusion will be. And the wall is permeable, of course, to let the nutrients, oxygen and carbon dioxide to exchange. So very thin walls are a crucial part of capillaries. Capillaries also are subject to low pressure because capillaries are very small in general. Capillaries have a single cell wall. The wall is made up from single cells. The thickness of that wall is a single cell thickness. And therefore capillaries are very small. In fact, most capillaries only let a single red blood cell through. So the red blood cells actually have to queue up because capillaries let a single red blood cell through. You can't have two next to each other. So capillaries are way smaller than the other two types we're talking about. And their lumen is tiny. It is incredibly tiny. Like I said, it allows a single red blood cell through. The wall is very thin, again, like I said, to allow for exchange of gases and allow for exchange of nutrients and waste substances. And also capillaries, because they're so tiny, they can't really have valves. So capillaries don't tend to have valves. And again, here I drew up a structure of capillary. So we would have an actual cell nucleus because it's a single cell thickness wall. They are that small. They are in a completely different scale than the other two. The arteries and veins that I drew, that's a completely different scale. So they have a single cell thick wall with a cell nucleus. They have a very tiny lumen, and they have a very thin wall. Now, to summarize capillaries, like I said, that's how capillaries are structured. They have very thin walls. They supply oxygen and take away carbon dioxide. They supply nutrients, take away waste substances, and that's why they have thin walls. And they are low pressure because they're so tiny. They can't handle very big pressures. That's why when artery starts splitting up into arterioles and then capillaries, we have lots and lots of those capillaries hugging the cells that they need to be supplying for, hugging the internal organs. It's a vast network of capillaries, and that's how we dissipate all that pressure. All that pressure, we dissipate it across the vast network of capillaries, and that's why the pressure is low. They have a very small lumen because they're tiny, essentially. They have to be tiny. And they have no valves because you wouldn't be able to fit them in. That's probably the main reason. So this is it for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching my videos. I really appreciate when you guys watch my videos. This is why I do this. If you think this video helped you, give me a thumbs up. By the way, I do daily math, science, and some biomedical science videos. So to stay up to date, make sure you press that subscribe button below. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you very much again for watching, and see you next time.